Sarah from the Pink Panther. Thank you. Yeah, let's pull out Putting on the Ritz.
What's up?
I was thinking next.
Putting on the Ritz. Look very carefully before I have changed that measure. It should be real easy, but yeah, it's 2 bars before I rewrote that to have the exact same effect, but easier to read.
Okay.
Chunk, 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 chunk. Yeah, that looks easy to read.
All right. Got to get set up to move pages. It'll be interesting.
Everybody set?
Yep. More or less.
1, 2, 1, 2,
4 pages.
And the crowd are loving it.
Is it that time? Are we there?
You guys about ready? Time for Rocky Top.
All right.
How you doing? Are they ready to start?
Oh, we're there?
No. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, wait a minute.
Well, it is special.
No Rocky Top.
UT.
Please rise for the procession of the graduates.
Okay.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Catherine Womack, Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Admissions. It is my great pleasure to open the University of Tennessee Health Science Center College of Medicine graduation ceremony. We are delighted to have the families and friends of our graduating class of 2025 as our honored guests today. Thank you for joining us in person and virtually. Before beginning, I have a few housekeeping chores. First, please take a moment to locate the nearest emergency exit. We ask that everyone silence their cell phones and other portable devices. Please review your program. You will find the names listed of the College of Medicine honorees. The College of Medicine held an award ceremony last night to celebrate the awardees who were selected by peers and faculty. Today, we are fortunate to have Ms. Roneen Iman to lead us in the national anthem. Please stand for the national anthem in keeping with your own beliefs and traditions. Please be sure to remove your cap if necessary.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. It is wonderful that so many of you have been able to join us today in person and virtually to celebrate this great and momentous occasion in the lives of our graduates. I want to thank our President, Randy Boyd, Chancellor, Dr. Peter Buckley, as well as Vice Chancellor, Dr. Cindy Russell, our Interim Executive Dean of the College of Medicine, Dr. Nick Verne, and our Dean of the College of Medicine Chattanooga campus, Dr. James Haynes, for joining us today. I would also like to thank the other faculty and administrators on the stage today for their contributions. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium the University of Tennessee President, Randy Boyd.
Thank you. Graduates, faculty, family members, and distinguished guests, good afternoon. Well, as the president of the University of Tennessee system, it is my honor to bring you the greetings from the UT system. However, I'm thinking you may be like I was in 1979, 46 years ago, when I graduated from UT Knoxville. Actually, I had to get this job to go back and then look up who the actual president was back when I graduated. I had no idea, let alone know that there was a UT system. So, just in case you might be like I was then, here we are by the numbers. There are 5 campuses across the state of Tennessee. We have 2 statewide institutes. There's 95 extension offices, 1 in every single county. We have 10 ag research centers that are spread over 40,000 acres. We currently have 62,000 students enrolled and growing rapidly, more than 14,000 faculty and staff, and over 458,000 266 alumni. I used to be able to say all across the country and one in outer space, but fortunately that one in outer space got to come home a month ago. So we're all on Earth now. From Mountain City to Memphis, everywhere you look, UT. So on behalf of all of us at UT, I'm here to say congratulations to all of you. Today we're celebrating all that you have accomplished. To arrive here today, you have had to overcome extraordinary challenges, even including a pandemic. And through it all, you have succeeded. I've spent my life studying successful people, and I have found there's no one path to success. There's no one particular leadership style. There's no one magic formula. However, I have noticed one characteristic that everyone that has ever been successful has in common, and that is persistence. Everyone gets knocked down. Everyone fails at some point. But successful people get back up and they keep going. By sitting here today, you have proven you have what it takes. You have proven that you are persistent. You have proven that you have the intelligence and the talent and the determination and the grit to be successful. So congratulations. We're all excited to see all the great things you're going to accomplish in your life. So I'm not the keynote speaker today, and I'm reminded that nobody actually came here to hear me speak. But I can't help myself. I do want to give you a little bit of advice. I'm going to share just 3 things, and I'll be very, very brief. First, and here's something you won't hear every day. In fact, I'm thinking I may be the only commencement speaker that will give this advice to anybody in the country today. Here's my advice. Go forth and fail. Everyone fails at some point, and doing so in life has its benefits. Now, I'm reminded that I've got a lot of doctors here today, and some of you will be in the operating room. Don't fail in the operating room. This is meant otherwise in some of your career. But here's why I say it's good to go forth and fail. And if you're like I was, you're going to probably start off with nothing. So when you start off and you fail early, you don't have that far to fall. And you learn more from your failures than you do from your successes. Being young, you'll have the rest of your life to put those lessons to work for you. So be bold, take some risk, and make your first career choices places where you can continue to learn, even if there's a chance of failure. That's okay. Second, make detailed plans and ambitious goals, but also look for serendipity. Oftentimes, the best things in life are those that you don't plan for. In my life, I've always had plans, I've always held goals, but I made a list of the top 10 things in my life. They were all serendipitous, things that I hadn't planned for. So that's the definition of serendipity. And I found if you expect serendipity, if you're looking for it, you'll find it. And lastly, remember success begins with yes. Every great adventure, every great story starts with somebody saying yes. It never starts with somebody saying no. So look for opportunities, take some risk, and say yes. And that's it. 3 pieces of advice. Don't be afraid to fail. Look for serendipity, and say yes to opportunities. In closing, don't think of commencement as the end of your relationship with the University of Tennessee. It's really just the beginning. For me, I graduated 46 years ago from UT Knoxville, and I've benefited more from my relationship from my university afterwards than I did before. My business had research partnerships with UT. We hired UT graduates, sponsored forums. I personally have had the opportunity to be a guest lecturer, served on advisory boards, and formed philanthropic partnerships to give back to our community. I've also tried to pay back my university by donating to projects that I'm passionate about. And now, I have the privilege of serving as our president, which is the honor of my life. For me, graduation was just the beginning, and I hope the same is true for each of you. So please stay engaged and continue to give back to your alma mater so that thousands more can benefit from the same great experiences that you've had. Once again, congratulations to each of you for your tremendous accomplishments. Thank you.
Thank you so much, President Boyd. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Nicholas Verne. Dr. Verne is the Interim Executive Dean for the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, College of Medicine. We welcome him as he presides over this ceremony.
Thank you, Dr. Womack. Well, good afternoon. President Boyd, Chancellor Buckley, faculty, graduates, family, and friends. As we begin our ceremony, I want to take a moment to personally recognize the families and friends of our students. Your continued and unwavering support has been vital in helping our graduates reach significant milestone. I know the graduates join me in expressing their gratitude for everything you have done for them. So today marks a really important step in your professional and personal lives. As graduates of the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, you're entering your careers as some of the best trained physicians and biomedical scientists in the country. At the College of Medicine, we make every decision with a goal of fulfilling our mission, realizing our vision, and upholding our core values of respect, integrity, innovation, teamwork, and excellence. You've been prepared for your careers by dedicated educators who have instilled these values in you. And as part of the UT family, we are confident that you will apply these principles throughout your training, uphold the highest ethical standards in your professional careers, and foster a culture of integrity in all your endeavors. So these values are actually just not words on paper. They're actually ideals that guide our mission in improving health through science, scholarship, service, and innovation. So throughout your lives, you will encounter challenging choices and decisions. By adhering to the College of Medicine values, you will have a solid foundation and the tools needed to make difficult decisions. So the world you're entering as professionals is very complex. You will meet individuals in your work and personal lives who may not share these principles. The careers you have chosen demand that you remain steadfast in your values as they provide a clear sense of purpose. You have the privilege of knowing that every day you are contributing something worthwhile and essential to society. So for those entering clinical medicine, your focus should be on creating an environment that enhances the health of our local, national, and international communities while also implementing necessary changes in healthcare delivery. If you're pursuing a scientific career, continue to be innovative while never losing sight of the importance of scientific method in the discovery and its application in improving health. So whether you continue your career at UT or venture elsewhere, I hope you will carry with you the lessons learned from a community that prioritizes the moral principles of respect, integrity, innovation, teamwork, and excellence. The UTHSC College of Medicine is a community made up of individuals from various regions and backgrounds bringing different experiences, perspectives, and skills and life stories. This rich and engaging environment empowers you to provide superior, compassionate care to your patients, conduct innovative research, or educate the next generation of medical professionals. So on behalf of the leadership at UT Health Science Center, I extend my heart-filled congratulations on the achievements we celebrate today. Remember, in everything you do, you represent the University of Tennessee. Now go out and continue to make us proud. And with that, it's my great pleasure next to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Sarah Cross, to the podium. So Dr. Cross received her Doctor of Medicine degree from the University of Missouri. She has held many roles at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, including Assistant Dean of Student Affairs, Associate Professor, Division Chief in the Department of Infectious Diseases. Dr. Cross has received many awards and honors, including Faculty Diversity Award, Attending of the Year, and Outstanding Teacher. We're so glad that she came back today to talk with us during this ceremony. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Cross.
Chancellor Buckley, President Boyd, Deans, graduating medical school class of 2025, proud parents and families and guests, it is such an honor to be back with you on one of the most important days of your lives. When I was preparing my speech for today, I thought long and hard about what I want you to get out of this talk. I will be speaking very quickly, but I know that you all listen to me on 2 times speed during the pre-studies, so you're going to be used to it. I'll be giving you a few tasks. I'm going to try my hardest to motivate you and inspire you to not only be a great doctor, but maybe more importantly, be an advocate for your patients. And of course, I have some personal stories thrown in as well. I also realized I can say whatever I want because what can they do, fire me? Today is an amazing day for you and your families. I can't imagine successfully raising my child as you all have been raised. Graduates, tell your families and loved ones thank you today. As I said, today is great. However, you are taking on an enormous amount of responsibility. From here on, there are days when you will be exhausted. The challenges of clinical decision-making and caring for patients and their families will get to you. At these times especially, I think it's important to take a moment and appreciate the enormous privilege you've been given. You are about to become someone with whom patients share personal secrets and stories. I have no doubt that each and every one of you will live up to the challenge. Being a physician is one of the most challenging jobs there is, but in my opinion, it is absolutely one of the most rewarding. As a physician, you are revered. Patients will admire you and maybe even fall in love with you. Don't friend them on Facebook, Insta, or whatever you all use these days, and just ignore the DMs. You will see patients when they are at their most vulnerable. You have the honor and privilege to make them strong again. You have the chance in this most divided world to restore faith and trust in each other by caring for them, no matter what medical condition they have, no matter how much money they have, no matter what religion or color they are, what political beliefs they hold, no matter what laws they have broken. Several years ago, I had a new patient come to see me in clinic. She told me her story, basically that a man had, let's just say, done her wrong. She was distraught. I consoled and reassured her. Turns out, that man was my patient as well. I told this story in class one day many years ago before your time, and one student came up to me after class. He said, "Don't you just want to drop that patient? How can you continue to treat him?" I told that student with complete honesty that those thoughts never entered my mind, and they will never enter yours either. My job and your job is to treat everyone equally and as best as we know how every single day, no matter what. They all have a story, and sometimes their stories are hard to stomach and may keep you up at night and may bring you to tears, but it is so important to continue to listen. Remember their successes and defeats. Share their stories with others. Opioid addiction, mental illness and its lack of access to care, gun violence. These are all public health crises, but all too often are not considered our problems. They are. Listen to your patients. You can then be their voice. Your obligation and duty are to be an advocate for the vulnerable and the voiceless. Write an article for the local paper about a proposed law that may hurt your patients. Appear on the news to raise awareness on one of these controversial topics. Fight some of these crazy politicians with your knowledge. And why not become a politician yourself? In the current climate of science denial, anti-vaccine activism, and all the fake news on social media promoting these outrageous movements, it is your responsibility to be the gatekeepers of care and the defenders of truth. In the process of teaching you, I shared many patient stories with you. Some of you loved it, and some of you hated it, I'm sure. I've never hesitated to talk about my patients who did not have good outcomes and also mistakes that I made. It is so important to hear that patients died and possibly could have been saved, but weren't due to a wrong decision. If you talk about mistakes you made and remember them, you will not be making those same mistakes again. We are not perfect. When you get out there, things may go wrong. Remember me standing up here telling you that it happened to me 2 times as a resident, and it happens to everyone. Physicians' egos can be quite large, often too large to talk about mistakes. So my assignment to you is to talk about your mistakes to the next generation. Speaking of physicians' egos, it is very important to stay grounded. You are just another average person at Target or Kroger or dropping your son or daughter or dog off at daycare. And you're just another physician coming to work at your hospital or clinic. One time I was at a restaurant waiting for takeout. A man came in to pick up his food and it wasn't ready yet. He yelled, I am a vascular surgeon. They are waiting for me in the OR. No offense to any of those vascular surgeons in the room. Someone, I'm not going to say who, got her food first, and as she was leaving, she yelled behind her, "You're not special!" And she ran out the door as fast as she could. I've also seen physicians be nasty to each other. I had an ICU attending in residency who hated infectious disease doctors. He was so mean and gross. He used to smoke cigarettes and put them out on the ventilators in the ICU back in the day. One day on rounds, he suggested we get an ID consult. I was shocked. Then he said, "So we can do the opposite of what they recommend." I am so glad I never told him that I was going into ID. Be nice to each other. We are all physicians, and our main goal should be to care for patients to the best of our abilities. As different kinds of physicians, we all have different roles, and they are all equally important. I used to read a Sesame Street book to my daughter all the time, and she can't believe I'm putting this in my speech. It's called "We're Different, We're the Same, and We're All Wonderful." You should all read that book before residency. Be nice to each other, but also be nice to everyone around you, including housekeepers, kitchen staff, lab techs, nurses, especially the nurses. Here's another story. One of my least favorite residency classmates was on a 30-hour call shift. It was around 3 a.m. and he'd been up for about 22 hours. He told the nurses on the floor that he was going to lie down for 1 hour and please don't bother him unless it's an emergency. He proceeded to get paged at least 5 times in the next 30 minutes for diet orders, as-needed Tylenol orders, stool softener order. Those nurses made him pay for his massive ego and sense of entitlement, and they were gifted donuts the next week. Now, let's not forget to be nice to our medical students. As a third-year resident, I had a medical student who was very conscientious, but also very demanding. We were on call and admitted our 10 patients, and the med student worked up 2. He was very late the next morning and showed up about 5 minutes before rounds were supposed to start. He said, "Sorry I'm late. I was exhausted this morning." I said, "No problem," but inside I was screaming, "He does not know what tired is yet." Our attending had brought us donuts for morning rounds, and there was a big cardboard jug of old coffee, like several days old, sitting on the conference room table. I watched as my medical student poured himself a cup of that coffee and took a big swig, which he promptly spit out. I loved it. As an attending, I would never let my medical student drink the cold coffee. As a resident, please do better than I did. Protect your medical students, no matter how demanding or clingy or full of questions they are. We were all there once. So always remember to be nice, gracious, and thankful for this amazing opportunity, and keep your humility about you. Before I close, I want to talk briefly about the day-to-day life of residency. It sucks at times. There will be very long and lonely days. There will be days when you think you can't go on. I promise you, you can. There will be days you feel like you know nothing, and you will be angry that you weren't taught anything in medical school. I promise you that you were and that you know a lot. But I was there once. It was my first week of internal medicine internship, and I was on inpatient wards. My attending was the internal medicine program director, a very scary, proper, serious man who actually carried a periodic table around in his back pocket. He started out rounds by asking how much sodium was in a 1-liter bag of normal saline. Then, what was the equation for serum osmolality? Then the sodium deficit and hyponatremia. I knew nothing. My co-intern was really smart, and she knew over half the answers. I felt awful. Then finally, he asked how many servings were in a can of Campbell's soup. Before my co-intern could answer, I yelled out, 2.5! And he said, excellent. It was a very humbling moment, and I do still remember it vividly, but now I can look back on it and almost laugh. Our profession is exhausting, but somehow you will keep going. Many times it's the patients themselves who help you. One of my most memorable patients was an older man I took care of for over 3 weeks, very early in my intern year. He was finally discharged from the hospital after many complications, but sadly, he passed away suddenly 2 days later at home. I was devastated and felt responsible. I was emotionally exhausted and discouraged and felt like maybe medicine wasn't for me. My attending was amazing. She was reassuring, and she suggested that I call the patient's sister. It took me a couple days to get up the courage because I was so nervous, but I was shocked when I did call her to hear the gratitude in her voice. She was so thankful for the amazing care that her brother received. It made me realize that we do so much more than we can ever imagine for our patients. When you are tired, discouraged, and feel like you can't keep going, you can. Remember that you are making a difference and changing people's lives just by doing your job every day. I hope in the last 9 minutes, I promise it's only been 9, you have been inspired and encouraged. It's been my absolute honor to get to know you, at least those of you who went to class, teach you, and now see you on your final day of medical school. In closing, tell your stories. Listen to those stories told to you. Be nice, stay humble, make a difference, and remember, you're different, you're the same, and you're all wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cross. That was lovely. And now it's my privilege to welcome Dean Verne back to the podium for the presentation of our candidates for graduation.
Will the candidates please rise? Chancellor Buckley, I have the honor of presenting for the confirmation of the degree of Doctor of Medicine the students who have fulfilled the academic and clinical requirements and standards set forth by the faculty of the college and are now ready to apply their skills for the care of their patients.
I accept your recommendation for the confirmation of this respected degree and express the hope and challenge that your work will promote the health and wellness of all people and the challenge that you will be a credit to this respected profession. By the authority of the state of Tennessee, invested in the Board of Trustees of the University of Tennessee, and by them delegated to me, I do, upon the nomination of the faculty, grant to you the degrees for which you've been presented and confer on you all the honors, rights, and privileges to them appertaining. It gives me great pleasure and an honor to present to you the graduating class of University of Tennessee Health Science Center College of Medicine for May 2025. Congratulations. Before you sit down, turn all the way around and thank everybody up there, your family and your friends who helped you get here. Congratulations. Please be seated.
Dr. Mark Miller and Dr. Aditi Kasturi are ushering the students to receive their hoods and diplomas. Please bring the first groups of students forward. Dr. Paige Johnson will be reading the names of our graduates. Please hold all your applause until all students receive their degrees and diploma. No.
I know it's going to be very hard for you all to contain your excitement and joy. If you do cheer for your student or for your new doctor, please just be very brief about it so that we can go on to the next name and their family can hear it just as equally as well. Okay. Grace Ann Holliday. Adil Ahmed Abdurrahman. John Thomas Abernathy, Jr. Latifa Ahmed. Fabia Bushra Akbar. Hiba Faisal Akatib. Alexa Casanova Alana Arnold. Zachary Thomas Allegra. Benjamin Tyree Allen. Kathleen May Allos. Yavin Visul Awis. Daniel Ryan Amram. Hassan Arshad. Lily Brooke Benedict. Abigail Claire Bennett. Cameron Jackson Bergeron. Zachary John Berry. Caleb Joseph Berta. Addison James Bond. Matthew Wilson Bounds. Marcus Nashat Bushra. Amelia Christine Brewer. Louis Pellerin Brown. Lindsay Marie Bruce. John Calvin Coolidge Bryant. Logan Massey Buchanan. Lauren Marie Cancillo. Hayes Torgerson Cape. Weston Scott Chambers. Owen Matthew Clark. Anna Nicole Connor. Hanson Bennett Cohen. Daniel Owen Craig. Chance Michael Cuthbert. Christopher Alexander Duras. Daniel Jacob Delfendal. Courtney Nicole Diebold. Trin Nguyen Con Do. Jacob Mark Domeyer. Caroline Anna Drury. Colton Kirk Duncan. Harley Nicole Dwyer. James Elliott. Logan Nicholas Eskin. Matthew Brian Everett. William Thomas Fessmeyer. Morgan Nicole Ford. Natalie Grace Foster. Andrew Stephen Franklin. Aaron Joseph Frederick. Nathan Lewis Friedman. Nicholas Michael Genero. Dylan Garen Graves. Callie Diana Gray. Claudine Habib. Rachel Elizabeth Haley. Hayden Stephen Hall. Matthew James Wade Hampton. Elise Hanesian. Edward Paul Harpstead. Miriam Hasina Hashemi. Isabella Marie Hendrickson. Noah Christopher Hyatt. Joseph Mari Hicks. Dalton Wheeler Hill. Philip Braden Hill. Grant Connor Hilliard. Hannah Grace Hinchin. Thank you. Kelsey Holland. Janie Lee Hubbard. Hannah Bernadine Huth. Kimberly Marie Inelmo. Fatima Javed. Anthony Jun Ki Jong. Brianna Madison Johnson. Jordan Andrew Justice. Wyatt Andrew Kaiser. Bethany Christian Carnes. Sophia Chook. Sarah Ann Elizabeth Kennison. Retha Nusrat Khan. Anusha Karaj. Emily Young Kim. Marquinta Monet King. Spencer Aaron Klinsky. Jeevan Kaipa. Marina Monsif LeMay. Sarah Yu Lang. Amanda Sage Low. Cassidy Evelyn Lounsbury. Megan Brooke McCauley. Ethan Case Manor. Andrew Edwards Manley. Campbell Lee Martin. Jonathan Andrew Martinez. Lillian Elise McCampbell. Matthew David McCowan. Mary Anna McQueen. Rahul Mayra. David Michael Midlick Jr. Andrew Heron Miller II. Marat Roman Menon. Lincoln Reed Mitchell. Sneha Mithal. Durhat Mehdi Mohammed. Nicholas Andrew Moore. Hannah Shea Munsell. Gabrielle Elise Naper. Liba Unan Nasir. Logan Neely. Taylor August Renee Oberman. Zeal Patel. Aisha Pathak. Emily Marie Paul. David Masola Perkins. Rahul Raj Pillay. Constance Eleni Poplos. Alea Lauren Prasad. Brock Preheim. Paul Maxwell Putnam. Jonathan Patrick Ransom. Itipon Rasasak. Charles Ryan Rash. John Harrison Reed. Caroline Scan Reedy. Aaron Eugene Rice. Christian Dallas Roberts. Grace Austin Roberts. Grace Ann Louise Robertson. Shayon Chase Rouhani. Elena Grace Baird Rule. Sumia Sadruddin. Emma Catherine Sanders. Chandler Keith Sears. Bryn Julia Seaton. Christina Michelle Sieber. Sitha Rani Shaw. Katie Lee Shearer. Elise Danielle Sickle. Bilal Sohail Sadiq. Nupur Singh. Kashan Girish Sanogia. Walter Alexander Siv. Gage Christian Smith. Jessica Jean Smith. Riley Jeanette Smith. Sire Krishna Suriman. Madeline Gail Worst Stark. Logan Evan Stewart. Natalie Swinson Sullivan. Madeline Eve Serdacki. Anne Hartley Swanson. Rachel Jane Tannenbaum. Anna Lucia Tomescu. Samuel Archibald Troxel. Sarah Troyer. Kalila Camille Tucker. Jewel Lane von der Merve. Callie Ellen Walls. David Mitchell Weatherford. Caden Weber. Caitlin Siobhan Welch. Erica Nicole Whitaker. Elizabeth Lane Whitman. Nathaniel Searcy Williams. Jared Michael Wingerter. Alec Jameson Wright. Olivia Brooke Wyatt.
I think we should all give them one more round of applause. Yay! So happy. It is now my pleasure to introduce our promotion ceremony honoring our UTHSC College of Medicine graduates who are also U.S. military officers. Today we are honored to recognize the following: Nicholas Genero, Navy; Hayden Hall, Air Force; Lincoln Mitchell, Army; Gage Smith, Navy; and Jessica Smith, Air Force. Officiating today's ceremony is Dr. James Haynes, Dean of the University of Tennessee Health Science Center, College of Medicine, Chattanooga, who will be performing the penning and administering the oath. Prior to joining UT Health Science Center, Dr. Haynes served for 24 years in the U.S. Air Force. His final duty station was Eglin Air Force Base, where he served as the Family Medicine Residency Program Director from 2007 to 2011 prior to retirement. Dr. Haynes also served as the Family Medicine Consultant to the U.S. Air Force Surgeon General, Chief of the Medical Staff, Chief of Family Medicine, Deployed Commander, Critical Care Air Transport Physician, and a Deployed Refugee Camp Physician throughout his military career. He received the Uniformed Services Academy of Family Physicians Family Physician of the Year Award in 2003.
Right face, parade rest. President Boyd, Chancellor Buckley, Dean Verne, faculty, staff, graduates, family, and friends. I have the distinct pleasure of leading 5 officers graduating today in military promotion and oath of office ceremonies. These ceremonies are time-honored traditions to formally recognize the potential seen in individuals to promote them to a higher rank, as well as redeclare their commitment to the duty and responsibility of supporting and defending our nation. These officers standing before you will be different when they leave this stage today. They will be physicians and military officers. They will have the unique responsibility to carry out not only the demanding practice of medicine, but also those duties required of leaders responsible to act with duty, honor, and country continuously in their sights. Not only will they treat our soldiers, Marines, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, their families, and our nation's leaders, but they will also treat entire battalions, fleets, and wings. They will advise military commanders on medical issues that could save thousands of lives. These physician officers will also be required to treat civilian populations all over the world, including enemy forces, with the same commitment to treating our own military service members without inflicting harm. These officers will simultaneously practice medicine and lead our military's healthcare forces. Before we proceed with our formal ceremony, I would like to ask all current and former military service members who are able to please stand and be recognized. we extend our deepest gratitude to you, your families, and those who fell in your midst for your selfless acts of service to a grateful nation. I will now ask the family members to join their graduates on stage. I think they marched better than our officers, but. All right. Attention to orders, Second Lieutenant Mitchell. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Army, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Second Lieutenant Lincoln Mitchell. In view of these special qualities and his demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Second Lieutenant Lincoln Mitchell is promoted to the grade of Captain, United States Army, effective May 12, 2025, by order of the Secretary of the Army. Attention to orders, Ensign Genero and Ensign Smith. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Navy, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Ensign Nicholas Genero and Ensign Gage Smith. In view of these special qualities and their demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Ensign Nicholas Genero and Ensign Gage Smith are promoted to the grade of Lieutenant, United States Navy, effective May 12, 2025, by order of the Secretary of the Navy. Attention to orders, Second Lieutenant Hall and Second Lieutenant Smith. The President of the United States, acting upon the recommendation of the Secretary of the Air Force, has placed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, integrity, and abilities of Second Lieutenant Hayden Hall and Second Lieutenant Jessica Smith. In view of these special qualities and their demonstrated potential to serve in the higher grade, Second Lieutenant Hayden Hall and Second Lieutenant Jessica Smith are promoted to the grade of Captain, United States Air Force, effective May 12, 2025, by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. It always takes a little while to do this pinning, so we'll grant them a few more seconds. It's always difficult when you have 1,000 people watching you. All right, we'll congratulate these new promoted officers. And we'll kindly ask the family members to exit stage right. Detail post. Please raise your right hands. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. So as I said, they'll be different when they leave this stage today. I and many of my military physician colleagues served in places we never knew existed before and still don't know how to pronounce. We served in environments that could not be more different than the hospitals we trained in and cared for secondary, tertiary, and quaternary victims of wars, disasters, and plagues, which many folks only get to read about. It was our privilege and pleasure to serve our nation, and it will be yours also. Thank you in advance for your selfless act to serve our nation. Godspeed, fair winds, and following seas. Detail dismissed.
Thank you, Dean Haynes, and congratulations to our military personnel. It is now my pleasure to introduce the president of our 2025 graduating class, Dr. Grace Ann Holliday.
Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is Grace Ann Holliday, and as the class president for the class of 2025, it is my joy and privilege to speak with each of you, classmates, family, friends, and faculty, as we celebrate this monumental step in our medical journey. When I sat down to write my graduation remarks, I realized that it's been quite some time since my one semester of speech class in high school. As such, I've decided to structure my talk in a presentation style that I have come to know and love over the last 4 years. The SOAP note, a tried and true format that we use to record our patient encounters in the medical record and to present our patients to the medical team. So for my first presentation as a physician, I present to you the class of 2025. We'll start with the subjective. Sitting here before me are 172 graduating medical students about to leave this room as doctors for the first time. But first, let's take a moment to review some pertinent aspects of our history. August 14th, 2021, we left this very auditorium wearing our new short white coats and big smiles covered by masks mandated due to COVID restrictions. 2 days later, we were thrust into anatomy lab, bonding with our TBLs over formaldehyde fumes and laminectomies. And so M1 progressed, conquering histology practicals despite grainy images, surviving CMOD, and mastering the brachial plexus through color-coded drawings on library whiteboards. August 5th, 2022 marked the start of M2 year, where our reign in the GEB was complemented by intramural victories and some losses, probably to PT students, and karaoke in the lecture hall. We revived Meg Gala at the zoo, survived turf wars with dental students over shared library spaces, and passed step 1. On May 1st, 2023, we entered our clinical years as M3s. We successfully acquired VA badges, only to spend the next 2 years trying to regain lost access. We stood in the corner of the OR, trying to show interest without contaminating the sterile field. We explored different specialties and began to find our niche. Personally, I learned that I love delivering babies, that I'm kind of terrified of eyeballs, props to our future ophthalmologist, and then I required 1 Celsius per hour to stay awake in the dark radiology rooms.
As we entered M4 year, we began to take more ownership of our patients. We placed orders, we traveled for away rotations, and we taught the M3s. We celebrated big at match day, danced the night away at Caduceus, and even took some time off, a sweet reward for 4 years of hard work. This now brings us to our objective section, the cold, hard facts of who we are as we graduate medical school. We've got to be the best class in all of UTHSC history. This is when the scary attending would interrupt me to say that this belongs not in the objective section, but in the subjective section. I guess I'm still learning. We'll try again. Here's our class by the numbers. The 172 of us seated before you were chosen from an applicant pool of 3,049 students. We come from 8 different states and from 53 cities across Tennessee. We attended 73 different colleges. And from our different backgrounds and talents and training, we came together to form one medical school class, which has given us further training and skill sets to now spread out once again. We've matched in 21 specialties across 70 different programs and institutions, and we're going to do big things across the state, the country, and the world. This brings us, finally, to our assessment and plan, starting with a one-liner. The class of 2025 is composed of 172 individuals who have excelled in every way, academically, compassionately, wholeheartedly, and purposefully. Amidst all of our CV-worthy accomplishments, however, I'm most proud of the individuals behind the statistics. Each of you have helped each other get to this point. You've worked harder than you thought you could. You've loved and served patients in Memphis, Chattanooga, Jackson, Knoxville, Nashville, and beyond. You've mentored younger medical students. You've been my shoulder to cry on, provided much-needed laughs after a stressful day on rotations, and supported and encouraged me as I've leaned into who I am becoming. So this is my plan for us, class of 2025. Keep your same joy and energy. Keep showing up for each other and your patients. Learn people's names, the nurses, the techs, the custodial staff, the med students. Be kind to everyone, especially the ones who feel overlooked. Remember to make time for your family and your friends and your neighbors. Be a humble servant leader. Leadership in medicine doesn't always mean being the loudest voice in the room. Sometimes it's the one who stays late to help. It's the person who has the grace to accept correction, who says thank you often, and who is quick to praise the accomplishments of others. Advocate for your patients. Stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. Fight for the patient who keeps missing appointments, who struggles with housing, who doesn't have a safe place to heal. Be their voice when they don't have one, their shield when the system fails them. Treat every patient as a person with dignity and compassion, regardless of how they treat you. And don't forget to celebrate the wins, big and small, whether that's a well-placed central line, a heartfelt thank you from a patient, or simply making it through a tough week. Class of 2025, I'm proud of you, and I'm excited for you. Go out and thrive. You are so ready for what's next. Thank you. It's my pleasure to welcome to the stage Dr. Balakrishnaiah, who will lead our oath of self and well-being.
I request all our graduates and other physicians in the audience to join me as we recite our oath to self and well-being. I request you to raise as we recite. We solemnly pledge to embrace and promote the well-being of ourselves, our colleagues, and the medical community as part of our responsibility to the effective care of our patients, ourselves, and in partnership with our healthcare organization. We will seek to develop and adhere to habits that promote and maintain humility, meaning, and wholeness of self in our work and interactions. We will be attuned to the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs of ourselves and others, and share our practices of well-being for the benefit of our patients, our colleagues, and the advancement of the healthcare. We will commit to integration and balance in our professional and personal life and seek help when we feel ourselves and our peers are overburdened, fatigued, or less compassionate. We will champion for a healthcare system that values the well-being of its personnel, use best evidence for an institutional culture of wellness, and recognizes that in so promoting the patients we care for are ultimately best served. We will find the courage to be vulnerable and confront professional wrongdoings to the best of our ability, while at the same time showing compassion, respect for all members of the healthcare team. I make these promises of well-being to myself and to the vocation of medicine with my highest commitment. Thank you. I now request Dr. Zalamaya to lead the Hippocratic Oath.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Similarly, we'd ask our physician colleagues and friends and family and our colleagues to please raise your right hand and repeat with me the Hippocratic Oath. I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. I will give respect and gratitude to my deserving teachers. I will practice medicine with conscience and dignity. The health and life of my patient will be my first dedication. I will hold in confidence all that my patient confides in me. I will maintain the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession. My colleagues will be as my family. I will not permit consideration of race, religion, nationality, party politics, or social standing to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. You are under threat. I will not use my knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. These promises I make freely and upon my honor.
Thank you, Dr. Krishnaya and Dr. Zalamaya. It is now my pleasure and privilege to introduce Dr. Jessica Ruffin, who is the Secretary of the Alumni Association and a 2000 graduate of the College of Medicine. Welcome, Dr. Ruffin.
One day you all are going to need these glasses. I didn't need them when I was there. But anyway, good afternoon to all of you, our graduates, the faculty, family, and our honored guests. It is my absolute privilege to stand before you today as a proud member of the University of Tennessee College of Medicine Alumni Council and as a fellow graduate from the class of 2000. To each of you receiving your degree today, congratulations. You've reached a milestone. It's a milestone that few achieve. I can attest to that as I remember interviewing some of you on the medical school admissions committee. And as your president just said, there are a lot of people who apply and few are chosen. So you've obviously worked very, very hard. You're entering one of the most noble and respected professions that exists. The white coat that you wear, it carries more than just your credentials. It represents trust, it represents sacrifice, and it also represents service. It represents the hope that patients place in you in their most vulnerable moments and the quiet confidence that you will rise to meet their needs no matter the challenge. Since I graduated in 2000, 25 years ago, much has changed. We've seen the rise of telemedicine, AI-driven diagnostics, robotics in the operating room, and a transformation in how care is delivered. Hospitals look different. Medical records are all digital. Even how we learn and communicate has changed. But I'll tell you one thing that has not changed, and that is the heart of medicine. It's still about listening more than speaking. It's about making eye contact when a patient is afraid. It's about treating the person and not just the illness. And it's about using your knowledge, your training, and your humanity, not just to heal, but to actually care. Wherever your journey takes you, emergency medicine in Nashville, pediatrics in Memphis, surgery in Seattle, or family practice in one of our many small towns in this country, remember every patient is somebody's family. You will be a part of their story in ways that you may never realize. What an incredible responsibility and what an extraordinary privilege. As you move forward to residency and beyond, I want to encourage you not just to be outstanding physicians, but to remain engaged alumni. The University of Tennessee Health Science Center has given you the tools that you need to thrive. Now, as you build your careers, I hope that you will give back. Please join the Alumni Association. We will be reaching out to you. We want you to mentor future students, support the programs that shaped you. Your voice and your experience matter. You are a part of a great legacy, and you have the power to help shape whatever it is that comes next. In closing, let me say thank you. Thank you for choosing this path. Thank you for being willing to carry the weight and responsibility that comes with healing others. Thank you in advance for the lives that you will touch and the communities you will serve. The world needs you, and we could not be more proud of you. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Welcome to the profession, and welcome to our alumni family.
So I want to end today saying we're so pleased and feel fortunate that many of your family and friends could be present today. We've now come to the end of our program. So graduates, as a reminder, your diploma will be mailed to the current address you provided to the register. Please also remember that you are responsible for returning your graduation regalia to the vendor using the shipping label that was provided. Also, graduates will be recessed to a photo location in the convention center, and families may join them. So ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the University of Tennessee Health Science Center College of Medicine May 2025 commencement ceremony. I ask that you remain in your seats while the graduates and the faculty recess. College of Medicine, class of 2025, you may recess under the direction of the college marshals. These proceedings are now closed. Congratulations.